What is up, guys? My name is Emiliano, and for those of you that do not know, my arms is probably one of my strongest points. I've been lifting for about 4 years now consistently. I did calisthenics for around 1 to 2 years, and 2 years, 2.5 years respectively in the gym. And I am very proud to say that I believe my shoulders as well as my arms, specifically my biceps, is probably the strongest point in my physique. Now, this was me around, not gonna lie, a few weeks ago. However, this was not how I built my biceps. And that is why specifically I'm making this video, to show you guys how you can get similar if not better results than me in a shorter amount of time without having to lift heavy ass weight or swinging or using a lot of momentum like I was in that video. First of all, you only need 3 exercises. One for the short head, one for the long head, and one for the brachialis. Typically, the short head is worked with any kind of preacher curl movement, any movement where your arms are in front of your body, like that preacher curl with an easy bar, the cable straight bar curl. While the long head of the bicep, which is usually what gives you that peak aesthetic, is worked whenever your arms are behind your body, like with a Bayesian curl or an incline dumbbell curl. I really recommend the Bayesian curl. And finally, the most neglected part of the bicep. Why? Because the bicep, yes, technically, although it has 2 heads, another very important part is the brachialis, which is worked with a neutral grip, which can be easily hit with any kind of hammer curl variation, or another one is the rope hammer curl with cables. Doesn't matter which one you pick. I have 2 shoulder and arms days. I only do 2 exercises max on these days. Depending on what I feel like my physique lacks more is what I will emphasize more. Recently, I've been really focusing on hammer curls. However, you don't want to ego lift like I was in this video. Lower the weight, your bicep, and just like any other muscle group, a lot of people like to say that the bicep is a muscle that doesn't require a big load to grow. However, that is true about any muscle. However, because the bicep is such a small muscle in your body, I think you should be more inclined to follow that rule. Because I mean, come on guys, who's gonna be doing a 20, 30 pound dumbbell bench press? Nobody. So starting with the short head of the bicep, do your easy bar or your preacher curls. Machine preacher curls has always been my favorite for this, right? It's an amazing way to get a good stretch on the bicep as well as a good contraction. As you can see here, I'm not overloading it with crazy amounts of weight. Why? Because I'm more focused on feeling that mind muscle connection. If you have to warm up with very light weight, doesn't matter. At the end of the day, if you really slow down a movement, I guarantee you that you're going to hit failure with very light weight. So do what I'm doing here. I'm completely stretching out the bicep as well as completely contracting it all the way up, making sure that my wrists are curling all the way up to my shoulders, or as much as possible. When it comes to the long head of the bicep, this is also one that you'd never want to neglect. However, this is my personal strong point, so I don't really work this as often. But I do enjoy the exercise, which is the Bayesian curl, which you just grab 2 cables, preferably a diagonal cable, set them to around knee height. You walk forward, your body is almost straight but not too straight, lean forward so that your arms are behind your body, and you once again always emphasize the stretch part of the movement. This is the most hypertrophic part, not just for the bicep but for all other muscle groups as well. Same thing, don't focus too much on the weight. I guarantee you, even if you can increase the weight, you're going to be better off using a weight that is more manageable, so that way you mitigate risk of injury. And at the same time, once again, if you slow down the movement enough, you're going to get an amazing pump and you're still going to stimulate muscle growth. And finally, the big ego lifting final boss, hammer curls. To hit the brachialis, right? It's a lot easier to ego lift with dumbbells, I won't lie to you guys. And I won't lie to you guys, there are some people which maybe they are big and strong enough to be able to lift 50, 60, maybe even 70 pound dumbbells on hammer curls. But let's be honest, Even the biggest people, they're probably still ego lifting a little bit in there. They can easily make the same gains by lowering the weight, feeling the muscle better, and curling in a manner where you're not using your shoulders, you're not using swing, momentum. This will give you a much better stimulus, mind-muscle connection, and stimulate muscle growth. Trust me, nobody cares how much weight you're moving. They care about the size and the aesthetics of your bicep. And a lot of the times, I guarantee you, the people with the best arms, they didn't do 50, 60, 70 pound dumbbell curls. Focus on going slow before you go fast, and you will thank me later. Then you'll be able to hit a front double bicep, feel amazing, you'll get that huge peak, and your biceps will also look very girthy, and you'll get that width from a front view angle if you do actually slow down the hammer curls. But anyways, hope this video helped you guys. See you guys in the next one. Bye.